This is Community College Magazine on ITV, the vision of Pikes Peak Community College.
Hello and welcome to Community College Magazine presented by Pikes Peak Community College. I'm Drew Smith and I want to thank you today for tuning in because I have a special guest here with me today and it is Christine Rapp. She is a meteorologist from KKTV. So Christine, if you would just do us the honor of introducing yourself again and telling us who you are and what you do.
Like you said, my name's Christine. I'm a meteorologist at KKTV and I'm a morning meteorologist, so I work early in the morning. I get started about 2:45.
Wow.
So I come in early, forecast, and then you see me on TV, kind of helping you plan your day.
Yeah, so you do 2 forecasts a day, is that right?
Usually,
or 2?
Usually we do, we have a show from 4:30 to 7, which is the long one, and usually we'll do the forecast for that when I first come in, and then I also do a show at noon. So sometimes we'll adjust things. If we've warmed up too quickly, then I'll adjust our highs or whatnot. Or if we have weather going on, I track that too. Okay, get people prepared for their days and what to expect. And so leading up to your career at KKTV, what was the schooling you had to go through and how'd you get there? Well, I went to University of Missouri and I graduated in 2013 and was able to get a degree in atmospheric science. So it was pretty cool to learn all about science and weather and how those two interact, and was able to work at KOMU, which is an NBC affiliate station owned by the University of Missouri. So to be able to work for 3 years while getting my degree really helped me get where I am today.
All right. So atmospheric science is the degree that you've got, and that qualifies you to do weather?
Yep. Meteorology, atmospheric science is kind of the same thing.
Okay.
So.
And I was thinking, does that degree in meteorologist, does that only apply to like TV, or is there other careers that you can
There's
get
all
into
different
as
types
well?
of careers you can do. Some of the more famous ones besides broadcast is a lot of people go into the National Weather Service. Sometimes they have to go do a little more schooling. I just got a bachelor's, but you can go on to get a master's, a PhD. There's professing in meteorology and being on TV or National Weather Service.
Okay, so there's other avenues for that.
Yeah.
So, and coming to work at KKTV, did you always know you wanted to be a meteorologist?
I didn't. When I first started school at University of Missouri, my degree was in journalism. I wanted to be a sports reporter, but it wasn't really challenging me, the classes. I wanted more math and science, which I'm sure a lot of people probably don't say, but I wanted more of a challenge, and switching over to meteorology gave that to me, and up and decided one day to switch, and I haven't looked back, and I've been pretty happy with my decision.
Yeah, all right, sounds like fun. Was school fun?
It actually was. I really enjoyed it, even though, it was a lot of physics and chemistry and calculus and some pretty difficult classes, but I was able to get my way through it and did a lot of fun things while being in school too. Like Mizzou Storm Chase team was one of them. So
yeah, tell me about that.
We had a group of students that we went on storm chases whenever there was the opportunity. We did a lot of forecasting, mainly in the spring. And being in central Missouri, it was a pretty quick drive to Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, wherever the storms were going to be that day. And it was a very good experience to be able to get out there and see everything that we're learning in the classroom. Yeah.
Was there one kind of experience in particular that you remember?
We went on a 5-day chase. There was about 12 of us in separate cars that went all the way through Texas. We went to Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, and it was pretty cool. I saw my first tornado in that trip. And
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was it a big tornado?
It was an EF3. It wasn't very big size-wise, but pretty strong still, and it was right in a cornfield north of I-70. So it was pretty cool just to sit there and watch it, not destroying any structures. But for my first tornado experience, it was pretty cool.
Okay, so EF3?
EF3, yeah.
Okay, so on the scale, where does that land?
Scale ranks everywhere, or anywhere from an EF0 to an EF5, EF5 being the strongest, and it's based on wind speed and the type of damage that's left in its path. So EF3 is kind of right there in the middle.
All right, so should that have hit or made more damage, it could, so maybe if it's not like that windy, could it still be classified higher if it does more damage to maybe properties? Or?
Well, it's kind of based on, so say for example, EF5 tornado is winds at about 200 miles an hour or faster. So you'll, what some storm surveyors do is they go out there and say, okay, well, if there's this extent of damage, well, this must have been caused by this amount of wind speed. So to keep it simple.
Keep it simple for us. All right, cool. Well, let's get more into that a little bit later, but first we're going to take a quick little break here, and we'll be right back here at Pikes Peak Community College.
It's one of the finest quality automobiles ever made.
Does it fire missiles?
No, it doesn't.
No problem. I'll take it. But I only want to pay this much.
As you can see, the architect is passionate about the design.
Does it have a missile silo?
It doesn't?
Fine, I'll take it. But I only want to pay this much.
We offer more than 200 programs at 4 convenient campuses throughout the Pikes Peak region.
We have night, online, and weekend classes, so if you need flexibility, we've got it.
Do you have... You know what? It's perfect. I'll take it.
Great.
But I only want to pay this much.
It's half that.
Fantastic.
Half.
Sign us both up.
You don't need to be a secret agent to find quality at a great price. Pikes Peak Community College.
Welcome back to Community College Magazine, presented by Pikes Peak Community College. My name is Drew Smith. I'm your host, and I'm here with Christine Rapp, KKTV meteorologist, and we're talking about, well, tornadoes is what we were talking about before we cut to commercial there. And let's get back into the weather, some weather talk here. So do you have any future plans? So right now you're a meteorologist at KKTV.
Yes.
What do you see in the future?
You know, I'm a morning meteorologist, and that's probably the shift I'd love to stay at. Now, a lot of people say they like waking up at 2:45 or going to bed at 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm a morning person, so I'd love to stay in that shift. But, you know, moving out to Colorado was my first time out here, and it's been a fun challenge. But I'm looking forward to taking my career, you know, other places and other challenges and seeing how I do. But right now, I'm pretty happy with Colorado, and I can't really complain.
Okay. So for meteorologists, there's pretty much 3 shifts that you can look forward to. Morning.
There's your typical, yeah. Usually I have a morning, of the evenings, or the weekends. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then is there a midday kind of weather? Or?
It depends on how many meteorologists you have at your TV station.
Sure.
We have 4, and 2 of us do the morning shift. So.
All right.
Kind of works out that way.
Okay. And so I don't know how big the market is here compared to other markets. Do you know where Colorado lands? The Springs?
Well, the Springs is a market, I believe, 89, which isn't too bad. I mean, there's about over 200, I believe, across the country.
Right.
So to have this be my first job, I'm pretty lucky.
Oh, wow, yeah. So it's above the mid of the pack there. So very cool. Yeah. And so what can we expect for weather this weekend?
You know, weather this weekend, I don't know about you, I'm getting kind of sick of the warm weather. It hasn't felt like December just yet, but we are expecting a winter storm, so I'm sure a lot of folks will be happy about that, and at least the chance for some snow. We haven't had much of it since before Thanksgiving. So.
Wow. Now, I know it's kind of hard to predict that far in the future. However, do you have a feeling of what this winter might be like?
Well, you know, there is people that do, there's a climate prediction center. So they do look at about 3 months in advance.
Oh, really?
And I think for here in Colorado, we're forecasted to have a colder than average and a wetter than average winter. So far that hasn't really panned out. But for meteorological winter, it's December, January, February.
Yeah,
so
because here we are at the end of December.
Middle of
December, thank you. And what was the high today?
Oh, our high today is going to be in the lower 60s.
Wow.
Normal is low 40s. So, I mean, I'm sure there's not a lot of people complaining, but it'd be nice to get some snow, especially around Christmas.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. It's always nice to have a white Christmas, because that's what we all grew up thinking about and dreaming of. So, and plus Santa, he travels better in the snow. So, but okay. So moving on, is there anything that you ever see in movies or television that it's just totally wrong when it comes to weather?
You know, that's kind of the fun thing about being a meteorologist and watching some of those movies. Twister is one of my favorite movies, but it's so fun to like count all of the things that could not happen, that, you know, are incorrect, or, you know what I mean, like that, or Sharknado, those kind of things that you're just like, okay,
I want to talk more about Sharknado, but we're going to take another quick break here, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about Sharknado. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
This is a story about a boy, a girl, and the never-ending wonder of fate. The girl always wanted to be a dancer, and the boy always wanted to be a firefighter. As luck would have it, they enrolled at the same college, where the girl studied dance, and the boy studied fire science technology. One magical day, they met in math class, because no matter what your major, you need to take math. After graduation, the girl moved to the city to be a dancer, and the boy moved with her, because every city needs firefighters, and he had wanted to be one his whole life. With more than 200 programs, let Pikes Peak Community College help you find your passion. You never know where it might take you.
Back to Community College Magazine, presented by Pikes Peak Community College. My name is Drew Smith, and I'm talking to meteorologist Christine Rapp from KKTV. Before we went to break, we were talking about Sharknado and Twister.
Yeah, those Hollywood movies that, you know, sometimes they're a little incorrect with their facts about weather, but hey, I guess it makes for some entertainment. So.
Yeah. So Twister, you said, is one of your favorite movies?
One of my favorite movies, yeah.
Yeah. Who's Helen? Is that, who's the lead character?
Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt, yes.
Thanks for name.
Okay. Now, was that pretty accurate as far as...
You know, there are some things, everyone refers to the suck zone. There is no suck zone. He says that in the movie.
Okay.
That's just one example. But, yeah, there's always things. You mentioned Sharknado. Yeah, I highly doubt we'll ever see a tornado with, you know, sharks coming out of it. But, like I said, it makes for good
Is
Hollywood,
there any kind of possibility that there could be some type of carnage and animals and tornadoes mixed together?
I mean, there might be if a tornado, you get cows that get kind of hit with tornadoes.
Yes.
But I don't think you'll ever see a tornado full of cows.
That does ring a bell. I remember a scene from, and there's a cow.
Twister,
cow. Yeah, it's pretty intense. So be a little more serious here. So is there somebody in the world of meteorology that you really look up to, or?
You know, there's a couple. I'm originally from Chicago, so I grew up watching WGN and Tom Skilling, and a lot of people in America know who Tom Skilling is, and he's just such a well-respected and very intelligent meteorologist. So he's somebody that I actually got to intern for when I was a junior in college, and kind of he's so scientific into everything. So to learn from him was pretty cool. And then also Ginger Z, because she worked in Chicago as well, but now she's, you know, at Good Morning America, and she's just such a good female role model for meteorologists. So probably those two.
Yeah. And so going and looking at the field, is there pretty much an even split between like female and male meteorologists?
You know, I would say males still probably dominate the field, but there have been more and more females getting into broadcasting. So it's cool to see a nice shift in that.
Absolutely, yeah, and you're part of it, so that's cool. And you seem to really, really like it. So is there something like just really interesting that you found out about weather through, you know, college and just delivering the weather every day?
You know, the one thing that I found very interesting is probably the impact that people have to weather. Going to school in Missouri, I was in school while the Joplin, Missouri tornado happened, and to go there and see firsthand, you know, the damage and how it's impacted people has really helped me be the meteorologist I am today, whether it's before, during, or after events, and it's really gotten me, it's really encouraged me to become a better meteorologist on TV.
Yeah, so do you feel like you're where you're supposed to be?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm still young in my career. I've only been doing this full-time for about 1.5 years, so I know I still have some improvements to make, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the future has in store.
Yeah. Weather, reporting the weather every day. And so we've got a few more seconds here. Is there anything that you want to share about hobbies and stuff? What do you like to do other than just talk about the weather? You
know, besides weather and sports, those are probably, you know, the two things that I'll either be talking about or, you know, tweeting about. That's usually what my Twitter feed is full of. But
sports?
Those are really my two favorite hobbies.
Sports and weather.
Sports and weather, yeah. But other than that, that's about it.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much again for joining me, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and thanks again. So, but unfortunately, we are out of time. So again, that's going to be a special thanks to Christine Rapp from KKTV, and this is Community College Magazine brought to you by Pikes Peak Community College. And thanks again for hanging out with us, and we will see you later. Have a great day.
Community College Magazine is presented by Pikes Peak Community College and ITV. For more information about our programs, visit ppcc.edu or call 502-3000.